Hi, Sexy. I'm Lexi. Today we're going to be eating Subway, my favorite Subway sandwich, while I answer you guys' most asked questions about what it's like to be a Canadian flight attendant. And I tell you guys what I put in my sandwich, and then we'll get straight into answering some questions. So I always get a Sprite or a 7-Up. They only had 7-Up, so I got 7-Up. But that's like my go-to drink. Either that or ginger ale. But usually that's my go-to drink. Then for my sandwich, I've been getting this sandwich since I was literally like 10 years old. I always get Sun Chips, and then recently I've been getting the house sandwich sauce to dip the chips in. And I also dip my sandwich in it, but it's just, oh my God, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Time for the sandwich. So I only ever get a 6-inch because it fills me up like the perfect amount. I feel like when I get a foot long, I'm like too full, and then I don't want to leave the sandwich left over because it just ends up being gross. I love learning what people put in their sandwiches because it's like so personal, you know? My sandwich is a turkey sandwich on Italian bread, and then I get orange cheddar, and then I put lettuce, spinach, jalapenos, onion, and pickles in it, and then I do ranch and mustard. So let's take the first bite, and then we'll answer some questions. Cheers. Are you guys eating with me, or are you just hanging out? What are you guys doing? But the first question is, how do you become a flight attendant? So this is a really interesting question, and it's super easy to become flight attendant. Basically, I went to school for travel and tourism, so I already had some history, and then I'm also certified to work on yachts. So I kind of have like lots of things in the travel industry already, and then I also worked as a corporate travel agent. So I've been in the travel industry quite a lot. And then I also have the hospitality because I used to just work in bars and restaurants. So after COVID, when I graduated, obviously the travel industry was like on hold at the time. And so what I ended up doing is just waiting, continue to work in bars and restaurants, just do all that kind of thing. And then I saw a posting for the airline that I work at, and I applied. And then I got the job. So that's like how easy it is to become a flight attendant. The sandwich is so good. Let me show you guys a secret that you're gonna wanna try and eat all the time, which is Sun Chips and the house sandwich sauce. Take one of these little baddies, dip her in here. Oh my God, it's so good. Yum. If you want to be a flight attendant, don't go to flight attendant school. There is flight attendant schools, which I don't know why, because your training is very specific to your airline, so that flight attendant college is just a waste of money. Yes, it might make you like more attractive to the airlines. However, it doesn't get you in just because you have that training. The next question is, what are the qualifications needed to be a flight attendant? Oh my God. So people that I work with come from all different backgrounds, all different jobs, all different things. But the core with being a flight attendant is the safety aspect. So if you are prone to safety and you're good with people, that is the job for you. Those are like the number 2 things that they look for, is if you have a good personality, if you're able to handle customer service, and then if you're also able to handle serious situations, because that is the point of a flight attendant. We're there not to just serve you guys drinks. We're there to strictly help and save people if the whole thing was to go down. It's like you have to be able-bodied and also safety oriented, because without those 2 things, you're not gonna be able to do the job, because of those are the 2 like massively important aspects. And then also customer service, because with customer service with flying, there's lots of people who aren't happy when they're flying. There's things that go wrong when people are flying, and it just adds to like chaos. So if you're able to do, I would say like those 3 things, if you have those 3 qualities, you're able to do the job. And it's definitely not a job for everyone. It's not as easy as lots of people make it seem. It's long hours, it's hard hours, it's different things where we don't get paid until the doors close. So like, it's not a lifestyle for everyone. However, for me, I personally don't like the whole go to work from 8 till 5 every single day in the week. I love the flexibility of my schedule. I can make my own schedule. How much do flight attendants make? So I am not going to tell my salary. I feel like that's such a tasteless way to go about life. However, we do get paid from the second that the doors close, so we get paid hourly. So it's not like hourly like a teacher or, sorry, not like a teacher, I guess more like a construction worker. Like we're not paid hourly. We're paid by flight hours. And flight hours, that basically happens when the door is closed to when the door opens when you land. So that's how long it is. It's honestly so much fun. I really love it. It's a job where like if you want to be like insanely rich, it's definitely not the job for you. But it's a job that you can have if you want to pursue other things. So for me, it's the perfect job because I'm able to also pursue my social media at the same time. And for me, that means a lot because it's not taking up my entire time. I'm also still able to film videos like this for you guys. So good. Oh, no, thank you. What is a typical day for a flight attendant? So if you guys want to see like a super in-depth video of that, I have shorts on my channel where you guys can watch that. I've made vlogs for you guys of like what I do day to day. But basically what it looks like is you have to show up to the airport before your flight. So you show up to the airport, you do all your pre-flight checks before people start boarding on the aircraft. And then Cheeto's trying to eat my sandwich. And then you meet with the crew and you guys do your crew briefing and you talk about safety of the aircraft, kind of all meet each other, get to know each other before you're gonna be together for a few days. For me, we call them pairings where I'm away for 4 days and it varies how many legs we have in a day. So legs are where we're gonna be, so that could be anywhere. Wherever our company sends us that day or for that pairing, that's where you go. So that's kind of how that works. And then each night that you're away, you're in a hotel that is paid for by the company, which I'm super grateful for. And they always have gyms and breakfast, and it's just really lovely. It's a really great experience. For me, it's a job that I love, but for some people, they don't like being away from home and all that kind of stuff. But again, traveling is something that I adore, so getting paid to do that and having so much fun at the job is like the best. How many hours do flight attendants work? So again, this depends on your schedule. Lots of people that I work with aren't just flight attendants. They aren't, some of them work like the minimum hours, which is like, could be like anywhere between 10 hours a month so that they can focus on their other job, but still get like the flight benefits and be able to like do all that kind of stuff. Whereas someone like me, I'm a full-time worker, so I have anywhere between 4 pairings a month, and then sometimes I'm on reserve, which is being on call. Being on reserve is my least favorite thing in the entire planet because you can't really plan out your life. Like your life is very random and sporadic, and they can just call you at any moment, and that's a whole thing that I could tell you guys about another day if you would like. I feel like this was the most asked question, and it's, do flight attendants get free flights / travel perks? Yes, we do. And that is the thing that I am the most grateful for with this job because again, like I said, traveling is my #1 passion. As you guys know, if you followed me on my social media, on my other pages, you know how much I travel and how much I adore it. It's honestly like my #1 passion in this world besides cooking and food. And we do. So we don't get free flights. We're not like American like airlines where you basically fly for free wherever. We do something called standby, and there still isn't fee. So it usually comes from the airports, is usually why there's a fee. And so for me, for example, me and my boyfriend, we just flew to Vegas last weekend and it was only $78 there and back. So that is a privilege that I am like so extremely grateful for. To go to Japan, it's like $100. To go to Rome, it's like not even $200 there and back. So those are the things that make the really hard days at work so worth it because I'm able to give that flight benefit to myself, my partner, my family, my friends, like whoever I trust, I can do that. So yeah, it's really awesome. The only crappy part about standby is that if the flight loads are too heavy, meaning that the entire airplane has been bought by other customers, we won't get a seat. But I've only ever gotten on every single flight that I've done standby, so it's never been a problem for me, but knock on wood. What are layovers like? So how long are they? What do you do on them? So layovers, basically they differ. So sometimes there's minimum rest where you only get like 10-ish hours in a city, which is only enough time to go to bed. Honestly, it's like to get home, shower, and like I call the hotels home. So if you guys are like, Lex, like, what do you mean get home? I thought you were away. Yes, that is what I mean. That's what I mean. I'm sorry, you guys. Cheeto loves food, loves it, wants to be around it, wants to eat it, wants just everything. He just is like, that's mine. I'm like, no, it's not, sir. Long or short, what I like to do on layovers is I like to go to the gym. I like to do the hot tub. I like to have the breakfast in the morning if it's available. Those are kind of my favorite things to do on layovers. And then sometimes if it's long, like if I have 24 hours in a place, I'll go explore the city, I'll do whatever, but it just kind of varies on how much rest you have, because to me, sleep and like recuperation is more important than exploring a city. But yeah, again, it just depends on where you are, who you're with, and how you're feeling. What are the best and the worst parts of being a flight attendant? So I'd say the worst part is the fact that we don't get paid like normal people do, where when you show up at work, you start getting paid. We don't get paid like normal people get paid at jobs. We don't get paid from the second that we show up until the second that we're done, which is how it should work, but it's not. We get paid from the second that the wheels are up or the doors close, is what they call it, to when the doors open. So that's how much we get paid. That's like our hour of work. So that's definitely the worst part, because you're doing like so much free labor, but the other perks to the job really kind of subside that. Obviously, I hope that it changes. I mean, Air Canada did a huge strike about it. So that is something that will hopefully change for all the other Canadian airlines. Just time will tell, right? So that is definitely the worst part. And when people are having a bad day and they take it out on you, that is also just terrible. It's not fun. Doesn't feel great, but we're there to kind of de-escalate the situation. And I've been in their shoes, so I understand how it feels to get like delays or miss a flight or, you know, just all those things. So like I understand, I can sympathize with them, but it's never okay to like take it out on someone, you know? The best parts though would definitely be when I get to bring families on like their first flight or bring them to Disneyland and just see their excitement, because I know how that felt being my first flight. So being a part of their memory is something that I don't take lightly. It's like my favorite part of the job. I love being a part of somebody else's dream, you know, like it's so special to me. That is like my favorite part. My other favorite part is being able to just travel and get paid for it. Like honestly, there's not another job in this world that I would love more than having a cooking channel one day than the job that I have. I just love being a flight attendant. Honestly, I feel like it's the perfect job for me. One of the harder parts is every single year we have to get requalified. So that is definitely a stressful part of the year. However, it's important to make sure that we're staying up to safety standards and making sure that everybody that is inside our aircraft is safe. Let's take another chip bite because these are bomb. We are almost done with questions, and sorry, I've been talking so much, I haven't really been eating, but hope you guys are enjoying this video. How do flight attendants deal with emergencies and turbulence? So, we're literally trained extensively for this. And just to put it into perspective, like lots of people fail the flight attendant training, which is harsh, but I also appreciate it because it just means that those people aren't able to evacuate an aircraft if something was to happen. So people that are flight attendants take their jobs really seriously, and turbulence and emergencies are not a joke. There's lots of people who've gotten severely injured from turbulence. I feel like people are like, oh, like the seatbelt, whatever. Like when I used to be a passenger and was never in this industry, I didn't really understand like the severity of turbulence, but it really is super dangerous. Like if there's enough turbulence, you could hit the top bin and really hurt yourself, like really bad. So yeah, when I was a passenger, I used to not wear the seatbelt all the time because I was like, ugh. But now it's like I do not ever take my seatbelt off just because turbulence can happen in a blink of an eye. And it's not dangerous to the fact we're gonna crash or anything. It's just dangerous to the bodies inside of the aircraft. Aircrafts are put through simulators and all these crazy things, and all aircrafts can fly off of one engine. Like, I feel like there's a lot of scarcity and like scare tactics that all these like Hollywood movies and stuff do around airplanes, and obviously there is like serious emergencies. However, it's not as dangerous as people make it seem in like Hollywood or things like that. Flying is one of the most safe forms of transportation. You have a better chance of actually getting in a car crash than you do of ever getting in a plane crash ever. So we are there to make sure that our passengers feel comfortable, and then we're there to make sure that the aircraft is evacuated if that is what needs to happen. So I'm not going to tell anybody about any of my safety protocols because that's no one else's business except for me and my employees like that I work with. But yeah, just know that if you're flying on an aircraft, you're okay. We got you. That's literally the reason why we're there. And don't be scared. If you ever feel nervous flying, just talk to your flight attendant and we'll calm you down. Okay? Love you. What do you eat on duty/flights? I also have answered this and like shown you guys what I pack as a flight attendant. But for me, I never like to travel and just buy food while I'm away. I always pack fresh food. So I always pack 4 meals for dinner, 4 meals for lunch. It's usually like a charcuterie board, like at home Lunchable sort of thing. And then for breakfast, I make my homemade egg bites and usually grab like a piece of fruit. Or if the hotel has free breakfast, then I'll eat the free breakfast. I do that in order to feel nourished. Otherwise, I feel really crappy throughout the day. And again, flying, you lose a lot of your water percentage in your body, and it's just not... You just want to make sure that you're staying hydrated, you're staying healthy, because it is a job where that can get kind of lost. And we all know when we travel, we eat worse things, we don't eat as great, we don't treat our bodies as nice. So I just try really hard to keep on routine while I'm away, because routine matters to me. So yeah, I always, but then if I'm going out with the crew and we're going out for lunch or dinner or whatever, then of course I'm going to go out with the crew and I'm going to get food. Like, there's no question about that. But that is what I try to do most of the time, is just make sure that I'm nourishing my body. What are the uniform rules like? So my airline, we have to have our hair up, which I'm so sad, because I wish that we could wear our hair down, but it is, again, it's all safety regulated, right? Like, Transport Canada is the lawmaker and we follow their rules, and hair down in an emergency is an issue. But I love putting my uniform on, but then everybody has their own interpretations of what they do with their nails, their hair, their makeup, their everything. There's no like super strict laws like Emirates. But there definitely is like a polished look. You have to like not stink, like, you know what I mean? Just like basic hygiene. There's no like, you have to wear red lipstick, you have to wear mascara, like blah, blah, blah. No, it's like up to your own interpretation, as long as you are following like the guidelines that they set out. How do you handle difficult passengers? So I handle difficult passengers with extreme compassion, because again, I've been in their shoes. I know what it feels like. Obviously, I can't like completely understand how every single passenger feels, but I do understand what it feels like to be delayed, stressed out that you're gonna miss your next flight. Like, I can empathize with them. So I just handle them with care and put myself in their shoes and let them know that it's okay. I try to do everything that we can to like mitigate the situation. But yeah, if there's like super aggressive passengers, that's when we take extra measures. And if they're not following the airline rules and things like that, then that's when we will like escalate the situation and like really stop bad things from happening. But if it's just somebody that's irritated about the situation that they're in, then we just de-escalate the situation, you know, as best we can, like anybody in customer service, right? And the last question is, what happens during delays? So during delays, I will either sit in a crew room, or I'll sit in a lounge, because I have a credit card that allows me to go in lounges. Not every airport that we go to allows crew to hang out in the lounge, but most do, and so I'll go and hang out in the lounge. Or I'll like edit YouTube videos, I'll edit Instagram content, I will FaceTime friends, watch movies, like just anything, because when you guys are delayed, we're delayed. It's not just like the flight crew isn't delayed. It's like, trust me, we don't want to be delayed. Nobody wants to be delayed. We all want to just get home. We want to get on with the day, keep it moving, keep it pushing. But sometimes there's things that happen in the industry. Sometimes it's weather, like there's lots of reasons, but when there is delays, it is for a reason. And I know it's frustrating, but it's out of basically everyone's control, unfortunately. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry I didn't eat my entire sandwich. I am going to now watch some London Housewives and finish my sandwich. But I'm so happy that I got to do this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys are having a good week. It is officially fall and spooky season. Unfortunately, this year I'm not gonna be able to dress up for Halloween because I am gonna be working away, but you know, that's the way it goes sometimes. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys, and I will see you next time on Sexy's channel. Talk to you later. Bye.